All right, we're recording. So thank you all for joining me today. Today we are doing what I'm calling bright yoga. So we are in a time of the year which, according to Ayurveda, which is a sister science to yoga, it's called a Kathic time of year. So that just means that it's at like late winter, early spring, where you just like feel really heavy and lethargic, and you really just want to curl in on yourselves, especially curl in on that heart center and like protect yourself. So basically you just want to sit on the couch, watch Netflix, and eat Ben and Jerry's. So, and today this season, I feel, is even more powerful right now because we're going through this whole COVID experience. And COVID has caused a lot of grief, both for people who have lost loved ones or just people who have lost like their old way of life. And there's been a lot of changes over the past year. And we have a tendency to store grief in our bodies and our heart center. So, and then also we have the derecho. So many of you, if you're looking out your window, maybe you're seeing like trees that are snapped off or trees that are gone. And we are all made up of nature. We are nature. We have a tendency to think of ourselves as separate from, but we're made up of exactly the same elements that nature's made up of, you know, earth, wind, air, fire, ether, space. And so our physical world around us, or that natural world around us, also affects us energetically and affects us in seeing all of those trees get ripped up. It also gives us grief. So we have lots of reasons to kind of open up the heart center today. So that's what we're going to focus on. And before I get started, I just want to lay a little bit of groundwork, and that is the yoga practice that you do is always your yoga practice. So my instructions are just there to coach you and to help you stay present in your body. But ultimately, you are the best boss of you. So if I'm coaching a movement that doesn't feel good to you, that's not really resonating with where you are today, then don't do it. That's completely within your purview, and I encourage that. And that's what yoga is really truly all about, is learning how to tune in and listen to your body, which is a tremendous source of wisdom for us if we can tune into it. So I invite you to come to a seated position. So if you are at home and you can sit on the floor, and sometimes it's easier to feel a little bit more grounded on the floor. Actually, let me back up a little bit more so you can see me. Otherwise, if you're in a chair, it's totally fine. You can work with that. So get into a comfortable position in your chair and think about having dignified posture. So you don't want to be like hunched over like this. You're thinking about sitting like a mountain. Firm foundation, nice tall spine. And close your eyes if you are comfortable with it. Otherwise, just pick a gaze point on the ground in front of you and let your eyes rest there. And just take a couple breaths to just let yourself tune in to what's going on inside. So you're kind of tuning out the world around you, and it's almost like you feel your awareness come down right through the crown of the head, right through your head, your neck, your chest, your pelvis, all the way down to the base, where you feel that connection point between you and your chair or the floor. Just letting your body breathe naturally for a moment and encouraging it to soften and let go, and just inviting some ease into the body with the exhale. And I invite you to take your right hand and place your right hand right on the center of your chest. So right on the sternum or that breastbone. And you can put your left hand on top. And then as you inhale, I want you to think about actually like inhaling air in right through the center of your chest, right where you feel that connection point between your hand and your body. And then as you exhale, you feel the exhale just kind of like go out right from the center of the chest. And with that exhale, it takes some tension, some tightness with it. So with the inhale, we're inhaling into the center of the chest, bringing in some lightness, some brightness. And then on the exhale, we're exhaling right through that heart center as well. Just letting go of any darkness, any sludge that's built up in our chest. And then take a moment to focus in on our mantra, our intention for the practice today, which is, I embrace life wholeheartedly. Maybe even repeating that mantra a couple of times to yourself. I embrace life wholeheartedly. Maybe even noticing how, as you repeat that phrase, maybe you sense a subtle shift in your body, a slight easing. Maybe it even brings a slight smile to your face. And take one more deep breath in, and then exhale and just sigh it out. And then you can look up at me. There's a famous meditation teacher, John Kabat-Zinn, who says, each inhalation is a new beginning and each exhalation is a letting go. So that can be something you think about and kind of embody during today's practice as well. So we're going to start with some seated cat-cows, which you've probably done a million times if you've done yoga on your hands and feet, but you can do these in a seated position too, and it works as well if you're in a chair. So you're going to inhale, and as you inhale, you're going to arch your back, and you're going to look up towards the ceiling and really stretch in to the front of the throat, the front of the chest, and it's like you're trying to squeeze your shoulder blades back behind you. And then as you exhale, you're tucking your pelvis under and starting a little flexion in your whole spine, and that curve comes up through your low back, through your mid back, all the way through the back of the neck until your chin rests on your chest. And even here, you can grab onto your knees and kind of lean back and get a nice little shoulder stretch. And then we'll do another inhale. So you're looking, your eyes come up first, and then your chin, and then you feel your sternum press forward. The backs of your scapulas touch. So you look up towards the ceiling, nice arch in your spine. And let's go through a few more rounds like that. As you exhale, you're tucking the pelvis under, letting yourself come into a nice C curve, maybe leaning back so that you can get a stretch into your shoulders. And then you're going to inhale and lift your forehead up, lift your chin up, even lift your eyes up, and notice how that gives you even more extension. And then come back to neutral. All right, so we have another person joining. Let me admit them here quick. Okay, so the next pose we're gonna do, we're gonna do some self-myofascial release. So yoga is all about empowering you to live well in your body. It's not just about the absence of disease, it's about enhancing your ability to have well-being in your life. And one of the really magical things about yoga is it gives you a lot of self-care tools. So I'm going to try to share some of those with you today. So in order to really open up the front of the chest, we have to release some tension here. So the muscles that cover the front of the chest are mostly your pecs, and your pecs connect to your sternum here, and then to your clavicle, and then they connect to your arm bones here. So let's release some tension there. So I want you to take your hand and make a fist, and then take your knuckles and just go up and down on your sternum. And you may notice some tenderness here, and you can kind of creep over to where your ribs intersect with your sternum and get to that area a little bit. Again, listening to your body. Some people like a little bit of hurt, so they're like, oh, that feels good, or it hurts in a good kind of way. And if you're not like that, then just ease up and go much more gentle. So then creep over so that you're getting into where the left side of your ribs intersect with your sternum, just kind of loosening up that area, warming it up. And then we're going to get into our left pec. So you're going to take your right hand and just go back and forth right underneath that clavicle, kind of loosening up that pec. And then we're also going to go up and down. So your fingers are running into the clavicle on top. All right, and you may feel it's getting nice and hot there. And then we're going to take our left hand and again, just go back and forth. So we're going with the grain of the pec here, which helps like lengthen out that muscle, back and forth. And then next we're going to go up and down, which is harder for me to do with my left hand. And this is cross fibering the tissues or the muscle fibers of your pec. And this can help tease apart like stuck muscle fibers. All right. And now that we've warmed up and kind of opened up the front of the chest, we're just going to do some shoulder rolls where your shoulders come up towards your ears, and then you're pulling your shoulder blades back behind you. So you're just trying to like map the whole circumference of your shoulder joint. So we did a few rounds backwards, and then let's do a few rounds forward. Really exaggerating the motion if you want. So you can bring your arms back behind you, trying to almost bring your elbows back behind you. And then creeping the shoulders up towards your ears. Really exaggerating the movements there. All right. Now that we've got shoulders opened up, which before I forget to mention it, I think this is super fascinating that according to, well, actually embryology, our arms and our hands form out of the center of our hearts. So our hands, our forearms, they're all extensions of our heart. So if you think about it, that's how you express emotion. The emotions of your heart is with your hands, by reaching towards people, by hugging people. So that's why working hands and shoulders is important too when you want to work on opening up that heart center. Okay, and then from here, we're going to come back onto our sit bones. And if you are sitting in a chair, you can probably just do this in a like a kind of a constrained where your knees, your feet are on the floor, kind of. But if you are on the floor, you can reach your hands behind you. And again, just take a moment to explore different hand positions. Like this may feel like a really nice stretch for your forearms, or it may be just completely uncomfortable for you. So just try a couple different positions. And then you're kind of leaning back into your hands. And then you're just going to drop your knees from side to side really slowly. So let's inhale, knees come up. Exhale, drop them over to the side. Inhale, knees come up. Exhale, drop over to the side. And you can even start to lift your pelvis up as your knees drop over, and you get a really nice shoulder stretch there. So just play with that motion a little bit, coordinating your movements with your breath. And then let's come back up to center. Got to do a little time check here. And we're going to make our way up to standing. So I'm going to let you explore and try to get yourself up from the floor to standing without using your hands. Again, number one priority is always listen to your body. So if you need some support to get up, go ahead and use that. Otherwise, just do a little bit of discovery and fun play today. So maybe you tuck your knees into some sort of Z-sit position, and then no hands, try to get yourself up. There you go. And the reason that I'm having you do that is because that sit-stand test is one of the primary predictors of your mortality as you get older. So the more you can get yourself up and down off the ground with using as few external apparatuses as possible, the better off you'll be. Okay. So you're going to come into Tandasana. So you can see how my feet are pointing straight forward. So when you come to stand, you may notice that your feet typically kind of point out to the side, or maybe they come in a little bit. And we're just trying to have a nice parallel stance here. And just take a moment to let yourself settle into your feet. And notice the connection point of your heel on the ground, that big toe mound, your little toe mound, and then let your awareness come up to your knees and then to your hips, and try to tune into your hips and see, are they kind of tilting forward? Am I sticking my butt out? Or maybe I'm tucked under and my thighs are really popping forward, and just try to come to a neutral position. So that would be your front hip bones are kind of lined up with your pubic bone. So it's nice and you're on one flat plane there. And then let's inhale, raise the arms up or your shoulders up, and then exhale and just let the shoulders kind of relax down the side of the rib cage. And then bring your awareness to your chin and see if you can tuck your chin down and kind of ramp your head back so the back of your spine is nice and long. And then just settle on that mantra again. I embrace life wholeheartedly. I embrace life wholeheartedly. And now we are going to do what's called a mudra. So I'll come up closer so you can see. The mudra that we're going to do is you're going to bring your pinky and your ring finger down to meet your thumb, and then you're gonna poke your fingers up into the air. So it's like you're making a peace sign. And this is called Prana Mudra. So this hand position helps with that upward flow of energy through the body. So in yoga, we have the downward flow that kind of roots you into the ground, and then everything in yoga is about balance. So you have downward flowing energy and upward flowing energy. So we're focusing on the upward flowing energy for this posture. So you're going to come into Tandasana and just rest with your hands at about shoulder height. And if you can close your eyes and still feel balanced and safe, go ahead and do that. Otherwise, just let your gaze settle down on the floor. And take the opportunity to again dive in and notice if this hand position affects any changes into your body. Does it change your breathing? Do you feel your sternum maybe open just a little bit, giving you a little bit more expansiveness in the chest? Do you feel any even subtle shifts in your mood? Maybe a little bit more joy, a little bit more openness, a little bit more expansiveness. And then you can let your arms come down to the side. And we're just going to do some loosey-goosey movements here. So bring your legs a little bit wider, and then you're just going to rotate from side to side and let your arms swing. So you're kind of tapping yourself on your back or your hips, just letting your whole body spiral around and punching the wall behind you too. Just trying to get the whole body loosened up. And then you can even shake it out. Shaking is really good for relieving tension, by the way. And it also helps your nervous system calm down. And then from here, we are going to do a movement called pranic bath. And so what you're going to do is you're going to bring the pinky edges of your forearms together. So all the way from elbow to pinky or as close as you can get. Maybe they don't meet up, and that's totally fine. And then from here, you're going to inhale and raise your arms up over your head. Once your hands get to the top of your head, you bring the backs of your hands together. And then you stretch them overhead, a nice deep stretch, again, rooting into your feet and lengthening up with your hands. And then you exhale and you bring your arms down. So I think I'm about as far away I can get from the camera, but hopefully you're getting the gist of this. So again, your pinky edges come together. You inhale and your palms cup the top of your head. At the top of your head, the backs of your hands meet as you stretch your arms up overhead. And then exhale and bring your arms back down. And we're going to do this 2 more times. But next time, as we inhale, we're going to think about bringing in, let's think about springtime stuff. Like you're bringing in like green, golden light, or you're like pulling flowers up from the earth. And then as we exhale, you can think about just like pushing all of the sludge and smudge and stuckness out of your body. You're just releasing it to the earth. So let's do that together with that little visualization. So we're going to inhale, bring hands together, and thinking about as you do so, you're pulling up like beautiful flowers from the earth. You're pulling up like green, golden energy from the earth. You're reaching your arms up overhead, and then as you exhale, you just feel yourself pushing all of that sludge, all of the darkness, all of the stuckness, just pushing it right out your feet, letting it return to the earth. And one more time, pulling in some green golden light or some flowers, coming to the top of the head, reaching overhead, exhaling, and just using that as an opportunity to let go, release, letting go of whatever you no longer want to take with you. All right. So we're going to do just a little bit of, well, actually, we have about 10 minutes left. So let's come into a wide angle stance here. So your feet are probably 3 to 4 feet apart or so. And you're going to put your hands on your hips. And then you're going to inhale. And as you inhale, you're pushing your hips down to get them rooted. And you're inhaling the spine nice and long. And then as you exhale, you're going to come into a forward fold. And you're going to drop your right hand. So it's right underneath your forehead. And then the next time you take an inhale, you're going to stretch your spine out long, and then exhale and twist over to the right. Getting a nice stretch in that left inner thigh, opening up the chest, maybe even turning your neck so you can look up towards your hand. And then exhale that arm back down. And we're going to switch hands. So this time right hand comes right underneath forehead. Next time you take an inhale, you're going to lengthen your spine nice and long. And you can bend your knees if this is uncomfortable to have your legs straight, of course. So inhale, nice long spine. And then on the exhale, you're going to twist over to the left. Again, each time you inhale, your spine gets a little bit longer. But on the exhale, seeing if you can twist a little bit deeper, even possibly turning your gaze up towards your left hand. And then exhale, back down to center. And then you're going to bend your knees. So you're kind of coming into a squat position. And you'll notice how you can kind of bounce into your feet. So you can use the energy of the ground to help spring you up. So you don't have to use your muscles to do all of that work. So do a little bounce and then bounce yourself back up. And we're going to take our left foot and point our left foot out. Take a look at your right foot, maybe turn it in just a little bit. And we're going to inhale our arms up and out to the side. And then you're going to flip your palms up. And notice how just that slight change in your arms helps open up the front of the chest. And let your gaze rest on your middle finger. Taking a nice long breath in. And on the exhale, settling down into your feet, into your pelvis. Inhale, reaching those arms apart. Really nice, huge, expansive pose here. And exhale, settling down. And then you can release your arms, bring your feet back to center, and just take a moment to tune into the sensations in your arms. And notice if you have more blood flow, more energy going through them. Kind of woke them up. And then we're going to take our right foot and point that out towards the right. Back foot turns in just a little bit. We're going to inhale, arms up one more time, and then flip our palms up. So we're tuning into that receptive, welcoming gesture. Feeling yourself expand and grow bigger on the inhalation. And on the exhalation, softening down, letting that earth rise up to meet your feet to support your foundation. And then on your next exhalation, letting the arms come down, just taking a moment back into Tandasana or mountain pose, and noticing the effects of your practice. Noticing any sense of aliveness in your chest, your throat, your shoulders, your hands. And then we're going to return to the floor, same way we came up. So again, try to do it with no hands as long as that feels safe to you. So just play around with that a little bit and see if you can get yourself back to a seated position. So we're going to close today just in an easy sit position. We're not going to come into Savasana. And I invite you to close your eyes or just gently look down at the ground in front of you. And first of all, repeat your mantra for today. I embrace life wholeheartedly. And then you're going to repeat 4 phrases as I state them. And this is a form of a loving kindness meditation. So repeat these phrases as I say them. May I be filled with loving kindness. May I be well. May I be peaceful and at ease. May I be happy. We'll do that one more time. May I be filled with loving kindness. May I be well. May I be peaceful and at ease. May I be happy. And then I want you to take a moment and just think about kind of redirecting your energy out to everyone on this call today. And just like holding the image of our coworkers and our friends within our heart, we are going to wish them loving kindness. May you be filled with loving kindness. May you be well. May you be peaceful and at ease. May you be happy. And let go of the meditation. And just take a moment to observe any changes in your mood, your body, your mind, as a result of just 30 minutes of paying attention to your breathing, paying attention to the movements of your body, and allowing yourself to do some self-soothing today. And with your next inhalation, you can raise your arms up towards the ceiling, bringing palms together, and lower them down so that your thumbs rest right on that sternum that we opened up and got some blood flowing to, and unlock some tension. And seal in this practice. Seal in the mantra, I embrace life wholeheartedly. Namaste. So thank you all for joining me today. And I hope to see you on the 12th for our next yoga class, which is going to be focused more on a calming down regulation practice. It's going to be on a Friday, so it'll get you in the right nice calm state of mind for the weekend. Thanks, everyone. Bye.